Shalom, family. It's good to see you. Hi, Tareen. Thank you for the super sticker. All right, everybody. We're going to talk about what recently came out in California. It's a bill that Gavin Newsom just signed into law. So we know, there's Amber Alert, and they got one also, I found out, called Silver Alert. And now the third one in California and the first one in the entire country is the Ebony Alert. So this is primarily geared towards missing girls, Black girls, and young women. That's what this is for. I don't know why it just couldn't include, our boys and even teenagers, because we know they go missing quite often too. But, the focus in mainstream news is always white children, or white women, or, if they're missing, it's really heavily focused on them. But so let's get into learning about this new alert system that just came out in California. All right. So, California creates the nation's first Ebony Alert to find missing Black children, which we know never gets a lot of attention like it should. So, tens of thousands of Black youth and women go missing across America each year, and that's true. I remember hearing about missing children even when I was a child. There were quite a few missing then. So this is absolutely nothing new. So we know their cases rarely catch any type of national attention, not unless you're a white child. It just don't get a lot of attention, let alone receive resources dedicated to finding them. So now the state of California is taking steps to address that, creating new statewide alert system to help locate and bring the attention of missing Black children and young women, being the first in the nation to do so. So this was Senate Bill 673, which was just signed by Gavin Newsom this past Sunday. Will create the Ebony Alert system for Black children and young women. When activated, the proposed system, similar to Amber or Silver Alerts, would inform people of missing Black children and young women between the ages of 12 to 25. The alert system will make use of electronic highway signs and encourage the use of television, radio, social media, and other platforms to spread information about the missing persons alert. The new alert system will go into effect on January 1st, 2024. State Senator Stephen Bradford, who introduced the measure, praised Newsom's support in signing the bill, and he emphasized the disparities between resources and coverage in searching for white people and those of color across California. Today, California is taking a bold and needed action to locate missing Black children and Black women in California, Bradford said in a statement announcing the bill. The Ebony Alert will ensure the vital resources and attention are given so we can bring home missing Black kids and women in the same way that we search for any missing child and missing person, he added. On average, more than 600,000 people are reported missing in the US each year, according to data from the National Crime Information Center. In 2022, up to 546,000 people were reported missing across the US, with 36% of those cases identified as Black youth and women. And Black people make up 13% of the population. Wow. They just had to throw that in. And nearly 40% of the missing person cases of, a missing Black, this is according to the Black and Missing Foundation, 40%. And we normally get ignored. It's important to continue to raise awareness about this issue. Advocates for policies that prioritize finding missing people of color, Natalie Wilson, co founder of the Black and Missing Foundation. Wilson told NPR that time is often critical in missing person cases. She hopes that this new alert system will work hand in hand with the media and law enforcement to help families search for their missing loved ones. We must ensure every missing person is given the same amount of attention and resources, regardless of their race and socioeconomic status, she said. Well, I think it's a good idea, but we will see how it works. I don't know. I'm just not fully convinced that this is going to give people in our community more attention, being that it's only happening in California and not nationwide. I don't know. I'm just not fully believing it's going to give more attention to the missing among our community. I guess I would have to see it to believe it. I'm just not 100% convinced. I don't know if any of you feel any differently. It has been a standing thing in America when anybody goes missing, if it's not a white child or a white woman, it really gets pushed on the back burner. And another thing our people have always faced historically are police departments that didn't even want to investigate missing people in our community. Usually they'll just tell them, oh, they ran away. Well, everybody missing don't run away. But when they tell you that, they're just letting you know they don't want to investigate this at all. They don't see it as a priority. So until we see things like that go away, I'm not going to be 100% convinced that this is going to be any better. But that's where I stand with the whole thing. You may see it differently. Yeah. Yeah, we get the usual thing. Yeah, it could very well be a lot of organ harvesting. It could be sex trafficking. We know that happens a lot. And we know people are still being kidnapped, human trafficked, trafficking to really enslave people. I did a story a few years ago that came out of Canada. And in the story, it was saying that people are still being put up on auction blocks and sold into servitude up in Canada. Now, I did that story a few years back. So, people go missing. And the thing is, the vast majority of them are never seen again, you know? And with human trafficking, they could be sent to any country, thrown on a plane and flown out of here, and you never see them again. And then the they'll convince you that your loved one ran away, or or they won't prioritize the case. The case will sit around and not get investigated or even worked on. So I'm just saying. So y'all, you're going to have to tell me what you think about this one. Look at how long it took them to put any kind of emphasis on our missing children. Look at how long it took to get here. Mm, mm, mm. But isn't it Tim Scott that's telling us America is not a racist country? Thank you, dark skinned brother, for the super sticker. Thank you. Mm, mm, mm. No, but you know what? That just go to show you, no, the police are not going to look into it like we will. That's why, really, technically, when these things occur, that's when our community should come together and start doing the groundwork on what might have happened to our children that are missing. Where were they last seen? Who were they with the last time they were out and about? And we should be searching the neighborhood and searching the airport to see if there's any evidence of children that were being flown out of the country or flown elsewhere in the country, you know, or we need to see surveillance of nearby streets and highways the day of our children being missing, you know? I think if we start doing the legwork a little more, then it will gain some traction. But as long as we keep depending on the police, it's always going to be thrown on the back burner and not taken seriously at all. So, everybody, I'm going to go ahead and conclude, but please leave your comments. Love to see the comments and tell me what you think about this new Ebony Alert system that has been signed into law in California. And do you think this should be something that's implemented nationwide? Shalom, family.